Well, it looks like we're here again with another episode of Teatime with Grimlock. This is the Grimlock 88, and today's guest is Xavier 9.
Yet another nickname to add to the pile.
Or Rave 9.
How you doing, Sir Grimlock? What's the picture of the podcast this time?
I haven't found out yet.
I hope it has something to do with the number 9.
I can find something.
You know, you should have saved me for the 9th episode. That would have been all the more ironic.
It would have, but unfortunately people have been too busy to be on any other one.
Well, I guess for today, my lucky number's 4.
Do you have any other lucky numbers?
17, actually, and 3.
Let's read your little fortune. It says you are a prosperous person. You're about to be hit by a piano in 10 seconds.
And I guess the number 10.
Well, that sucks, though.
It kind of does, especially since there's no pianos around me, and I'm kind of curious where it's going to come from. They don't always come through the roof, you know. Sometimes they sneak through the door.
Yeah, you just hear this door open. Oh, fuck.
You hear Moonlight Sonata, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, boom, you're dead.
I would have rather it had been, what is it? Let me check real quick. It's one of my favorite songs. It is actually a good classical song, so good, and it's kind of ironic that I like it so much because it was actually played during my parents' wedding.
Which you were at?
No, was nowhere close to being born yet.
Okay.
It was Bach's Toccata and Fugue in D minor.
Oh, I know that one.
You know, played in Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. Made famous. Very cool. They were Phantom of the Opera fans, I take it.
Oh, my dad was.
That one song.
My dad was. My mom, I don't know.
Your mom, more of an electronic type girl, more into the techno, I imagine.
Actually, no.
Damn it!
I think she's more into ABBA.
ABBA? That's kind of techno for its time.
Try to find something about the number 9 that would be funny.
It's what Hitler screams whenever he finds out that the Bear Jew has killed all his soldiers. Little movie reference there for you.
Oh my.
The Glorious Bastards? No? Jesus, these crickets are loud.
Wow. Let's see. Actually, I have an idea.
Hit me with it.
I'm going to try to use a reference that very few people may get. And I'm going to use it as the thing.
Go right ahead. I'm listening.
So, have you ever heard of the series Frady Cat?
Frady Cat? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the whole thing?
Yeah, because, I mean, he was afraid of the number 9 so much.
Why is 6 afraid of 7, though?
Because of an 8-9.
Yeah, there you go.
What did 0 say to 8?
1 through 7?
No. Nice belt.
Nice bowel?
Nice belt.
Nice belt? Nice. I get it. You, sir. You're slick with the numbers. I like you.
I can't remember where I heard that, though. Oh, well.
It is the internet. You possibly heard it from another website, which is far dirtier than ours.
Wait, far dirtier than the Good Morning Cybertron? I highly doubt it.
Far, far dirtier. They exist.
Oh, no, with all the racism and with all the sexual innuendos and stuff.
Yeah, we try. You know, we try to bring down humanity one peg at a time. But
Rave. there's no trying. There's succeeding involved.
Well, you know, there's only so much that you can do when you reach about tens of thousands of no ones every week.
Point taken.
Yes.
So, as a first question, what started your channel?
It started out, actually, there was another channel before this. There were two channels, actually, before Rave9, RaveIX. In about, I would say, 2008, I tried to be Optimus Prime Rib with two eyes and rib.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was I was talking to a buddy I was working with at Whole Foods, and he turned out to be this cool kid who really liked Transformers like I did. So finally I had someone to share my passion with.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew next to nothing outside of the movies. And I had all this info to give him. And I'm like, dude, when you get online, look at this, look at that, look at this guy. And, you know, I was naming other reviewers back in the day who were just starting out or had been around for a long time, like Pia. And I would say, watch their reviews. They know all sorts of things. And he was really getting into what I was doing. So I was saying, dude, I should really just start my own channel. So the channel I started was called Optimus Prime Rib. And I was going to start doing reviews, but the problem was I didn't have the camera equipment I did now. I had a really old, like, high DV8 camera, which used those really small tapes back in the day.
Yep.
So the problem was the quality, or the cables wouldn't hook up to my laptop at the time. I needed a Dazzle bridge device to do it. So I don't know what was going wrong because I had never tried to hook up the equipment before. But whenever I filmed the video, like my very first video for that channel at the time was 320 gigabytes. And it was a 3-minute video about the Fallen toy that had just been released in the Revenge of the Fallen line. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to film it, and I'm going to call this Meet the Machines. And it was just basically me behind the camera setting up a toy and just talking about the toy, giving out the biography. And I was talking to my friend who went by the name Darth Fluffy Balls on YouTube. And I was like, all right, dude, this goes out to Darth Fluffy Balls. I'm just going to talk about the toy, let you know the bio, you know, and I would spiel for a good 5 minutes, and I would edit it down the video, and I would try to upload it to YouTube, and it wouldn't take just because the file was too large. And back in the day, like 3 or 4 years ago, when they were putting out, when you tried to put out a video for YouTube, they would say, you can't put out a video longer than 10 minutes, and it has to be under 20 megabytes or something like that, right? So I was fucked because nothing I would do would make those videos compress any smaller. So I was like, well, fuck, I'm done here. I can't do it. So I went about my business not being a reviewer. I tried one more time when I got my new camera. I filmed a video just to see the quality, and I would play around with it, with the settings on my new camera, and I was just seeing how it worked. I seemed to strike a good balance of what I wanted out of the equipment I had, so I tried one more time, and nothing worked. Like, I was like, what do I do to edit? How do I upload? I was just so green, I had no idea what I was doing. So I said, screw it, it's another one that's biting the dust. And I was done at that point. I was like, second time, it's obviously not meant to be. So I called it quits. And then finally, right around the end of 2009, I discovered two reviewers. One was Baru Tuzaru, who is better known as Fu, and the other was Blumhole, the tapeworm of Unicron. And I was just enamored by the style of these two guys. Like, Stu would get in front of the camera, and he would talk, and he would spiel, and he would be charismatic, and he was funny. And the videos were brief, and they would just punch you so hard with so much information, and they'd be so entertaining. I was like, Jesus Christ, look at this guy. Look at him go. He's a, force of nature. I want to be this guy.
And then you had Scott, the angry drunk.
Then I had Scott, the angry drunk. And the thing was, as much as I loved Stu, watching Scott, I was just like, holy fuck, this man's a mad genius. Because I had never seen a guy before take the concept of like the first person review and just spin it on its head where it's just like, yeah, I'm drunk and I'm rambling about a toy, and it just so happens my ex-wife got brought up into the conversation, and I fucking hate fantasy. Fuck you, Harry Potter. Do I look like a bitch? Just random tangents. And I'm like, holy shit, this is genius. So it's like, he did one review. Scott the Blong Hole Tapeworm of Unicron did one review, which I watched constantly over and over and over again, where he was assembling the Spawn Interlink combiner, and he was just talking about the pressure of trying to put this toy together and all the wacky joints, and he's just like, I got to do multiple videos, I got to take a drink, and it's like, holy shit, look at this thing when it's done. And for the smallest amount of, like, talking he did, you could just feel the frustration coming off him, like actual frustration of trying to put this toy together. And all his little side comments. And I'm like, I need to be a combination of Stu, where I am on camera, where you see me act, because I do come from a background from college where I was heavily involved with theater. Like, I would write scripts, I would put on shows, and they generally went off really well and got, big applause, and they were big hits. I was like, I want to do stuff like that again. But on the same hand, I also want to be like Scott, who's just this random drunk who's angry at some things, but when he mentions something, it's genuine because he's just talking to hear himself talk, or he's just saying something because he knows it's funny. I need to bridge these two together. So that's what I did. Like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna set myself up like Stu. I'm gonna present myself like him, but at the same time, I'm gonna improv like Scott does, because when Scott does it, it's just so cool. So that's what I did, and I got my channel started, and I just started making videos after that.
Wow. So I didn't know that you were ever in theater, so.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of theater in college. Like, I was 18, I was just starting college, and I decided I'm not going to do anything serious for my first year. So all I did was I took theater and acting classes, and I did that for like the next 5-6 years. I was like, all right, when I go back, I'm making sure I take the next, it was called Brown Bag Theater, or the High Noon Ensemble, because all you would do during your lunchtime was go to this little rinky-dink theater, meet up with other kids who wanted to put on shows, and you would get, 5 credits towards your graduation for doing this. And that's what we did. We met up, we planned shows around holidays or certain themes, and then we put them on. And I had a real blast doing this because I came up with, like, the most random topics ever about whatever we would decide the theme would be. One time it was way up in the air for the holidays, like if we were going to do a Christmas show or one about the election, because we wanted, we wanted to do one about the election because this was the time Gray Davis in California got impeached, and he was going to be replaced, it looked like, by Arnold Schwarzenegger. So what happened was Arnold Schwarzenegger threw his hat in the ring, and then all of a sudden all these fucking weirdos came out of the woodwork saying, well, I want to run for governor too. If an actor can do it, I want to do it. So you had the porn star Mary Carey run. You had Webster run. Jesus. You had a dude who was not a professional sumo wrestler, but what was like semi-pro sumo wrestler who practiced in his backyard. And he did I swear to God, he did interviews in his sumo gi wearing a tie. Nothing else. Just he let it all hang out, but he would wear that. And it was such a circus. And we were like, if we do this, we have to do it about the election. And it was just stuff like that. It's just like we're bouncing ideas off each other. We're talking about what would be the funniest way to do it. Do we want to go the traditional way like we have for years before? And, that's what really got me interested in doing shows again, like on YouTube. I was like, all right, I'm going to take that concept of doing a show, and I'm going to put it on YouTube, but what do I want it to be about? And, it pretty much became Transformers when I saw that it was something I could just do by myself. Like, it was a one-man show. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, so all I got to do is put on a one-man show every time I film an episode. That's cool. I can definitely do that.
Very cool. If I work it out correctly based off of how many videos I've been pushing out recently, number 68 will be part 2 from that Iron Army thing, and part 3 would have been, or will be, that impression of you that I kept planning on doing. But
spoilers.
Yeah, things that kept getting in the way for the past like several months is not only scouting, but I don't know if I told you this, but I was in quite a few of the plays for high school.
Oh, so you were doing theater yourself?
Yes.
Okay. My fellow acting thespian brother.
Yes, I actually joined the troupe last year.
Very good, very
Mhm.
good. I tried to do the acting troupe at my local college, and I had to read. I had to memorize like a small section of dialogue, and I had to present before them
Mhm.
to join the special acting class, and I never got it, and I was so heartbroken. So I'm like, I'm living vicariously through you, saying, yeah, you got into the consortium.
And it wasn't even very high up, but I was still happy with doing what I did. So, for example, last year's, what was it? Last year's musical was Singing in the Rain. And the
hold
biggest
on,
thing I was oh, the guy that does the diction teacher.
Uh-huh. I don't mean to derail your conversation, but
You're cool.
it's so funny you're mentioning Singing in the Rain,
Mm-hmm.
because not only have I been like singing in the rain to myself for the past couple of days, but I've also been watching. Do you know Stanley Kubrick at all, the director?
A little.
A little. Do you know the movie he did, A Clockwork Orange?
Yes.
Okay, so you know about Singing in the Rain being in Clockwork Orange.
Yeah. Right past.
Okay, so the reason I've been singing in the rain to myself is because I've been watching A Clockwork Orange like a madman the past few days. So when you mentioned that you've been in theater, like doing plays for Singing in the Rain, doing musicals,
Mm-hmm.
all I can think about is rape scenes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. My friend made fun of me for like a month with that. Just going on, just being, trying to practice the music a bit before culinary. You're being a rapist. Shut up, Logan. No one wants to hear you. Just shut your mouth. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
All I can think about is, oh, poor Malcolm McDowell. Oh, he's raping that redheaded woman, and he's gonna pay for it later. Oh, that song makes me think of the most horrible things now.
But the last role I ever got to play, which was about a month ago, was Shermie in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Oh, very cool.
So I don't know if you've ever heard of Shermie.
One of those often not talked about background characters in the Peanuts gallery.
Yeah. Like, for example, he was the little shepherd boy in Charlie Brown's Christmas.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And he's the one that does the really weird dancing, like he holds his arms out and he kicks his legs up as far as they go.
Yeah, does the peanut dance that everyone does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, he looks like me as a peanut. I'll prove it. You've seen pictures.
And there you go. You're typecast.
Yeah. Our Charlie Brown was Asian. Our Lucy was black.
Hey, Charlie Brown's a Christianity strip anyway, so it's all about the diversity.
But the part that didn't make sense is Linus was white.
Linus was white?
How does that work?
The token black character was actually white.
Yeah.
Wow. South Park would have had a field day with you guys.
No, Linus is Lucy's younger brother. You're thinking of, give me a sec.
I want to say token because I've been watching South Park.
Franklin.
Okay.
But yeah, so
that should totally be the icon you use for YouTube on your channel.
Who, Franklin or Shermie?
No, Shermie.
Okay.
He's adorable.
He is. And I wore a similar shirt and I did the dance and I felt less awkward doing the dance now because after losing 80 pounds, I don't feel as awkward around people.
Oh, really? Good for you, man. Is that from all doing theater?
part of it theater, part of it scouting, part of it just doing stuff on my own, just trying to make sure I don't die of a massive heart attack or something.
So you're a smooth looking motherfucker right now, aren't you?
Pretty much.
Nice. Maybe you should just take some Photoshop, edit out Shermie's body, and put in some ripped Adonis dude on Shermie's head. And then send the picture to OkCupid.
Oh wow, that'd be amazing. Another question. So, What is your favorite figure?
That's kind of a hard one because I always am looking for a new Jones and toy to pick up.
As a completist.
Yeah, so it's never one figure. It's I always find it's weird because my philosophy is there is no bad toy. So it could be the most crap thing, even Bumblebee figures, which people shit on all day long. I still find there are really some gems out there, like the recent Beast Hunters Bumblebee with just massive anime spikes all over his body. He's really cool. But before that, there was a Revenge of the Fallen figure, I want to say, of Bumblebee that came with a flip-down battle mask. And this is a deluxe figure, too. A flip-down battle mask, a flip-out unfolding blue clear Energon blade. That was a really impressive Bumblebee. That one I really liked for a long time. Yeah, it's really hard for me to peg down to say which one definitely is my favorite. I would have to say sentimentally though, the best figure I have, just to modify your questions ever so slightly, is a custom I got from Scott one day. He gave me a custom Reveal the Shield Optimus Prime. He painted up to be Toxitron.
Ooh, I saw that.
And and that thing never leaves my sight. I keep it by my side at all time. Just a little token of our friendship. I do love it dearly, so I hold on to it all the time. It's I consider that my best figure.
The precious, Wave 9 wants the precious.
It's green. It's so green.
We can't have it, but we need it. Nobody likes you. Everyone likes me. That's why I have so many subscribers, you moron.
I wish I had that many subscribers. Jesus, man. I consider Scott the far superior reviewer just because, he does the weekly show. And, he brings in the laughs, every week. While on the flip side, I'm struggling to do a show every month now because of all the stuff I got going on.
I hear you. I feel lucky to have 35 subscribers.
Dude, I remember those days well. No one knew who I was. I was at 35, and I was hitting the roof every time I got a new subscriber. I was yeah! People know I exist!
Yes.
And so that was great.
Yeah, when I looked on the channel recently, I saw all of the Good Morning Cybertron. I'm that's nice. They're supporting. They're caring. Or they just couldn't give two fucks, and they just thought, why the hell not?
We support those who support us and, suck up to us. So let that be a lesson. Suck up to Good Morning Cybertron. We'll probably sub you.
How many times have I sucked up now? Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Every time I'd say it's paid off.
Do you have a figure that you despise with a freaking passion?
Hard to say. I mean, it really does go to that philosophy of mine that there is no bad figure. But Reveal the Shield Optimus Prime kind of is a pain in the ass.
And yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yes, I do have one. I can't believe I forgot about it. I did that whole video about it. Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime.
Which one?
Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime?
The later,
Isn't there only one?
I thought there was a few.
No, there's only the one. The Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime, the deluxe figure.
No, they did a leader class Fall of Cybertron.
leader class of Fall of Cybertron?
Oh, wait. Never mind. Oh, yeah, now I'm thinking of Revenge of the Fallen. That really, really shitty figure that stands nowhere close to the War for Cybertron.
Yeah, just a pale shadow in comparison.
The one that you nearly committed suicide for and ended up shooting him in the crotch. That one.
Yes, you know my continuity well. I do believe you're going to earn another mysterious sub somewhere, sir.
I only know that because I watch your videos because I find them funny, about as funny as Scott's because, I mean, yeah, the one-man show thing, that's working.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta keep at it.
Yeah, that figure. Oh my God, that figure. I let that one collect dust. And I never let my figures collect dust. Like, I try to take as best care of my figures as possible. If I'm not playing with them, I just want to make sure they're dust-free. That one I let, rot in a pile of dust.
I think I may know the answer to this one because it's from one of your answers, but if your house was on fire and you could only save one figure, what would it be?
Myself. I'm an Adonis.
No, a figure, like, with you. Like, if you had the ability to skip a house and take one figure with you, which would it be?
Gestalts count, right, as one?
I'll count them, yeah.
I'll count them. Okay, it's going to be Hercules then.
Wow. And after all you said about Toxitron.
Toxitron, hey, Toxitron's great, but Scott can always make another one. Hercules cost me quite a pretty penny, so he's coming with me.
Yeah, I do not blame you. I really, really want to get the Superion that's been coming out, but there's a downside. You need money.
I know. I just got the SR-70 Blackbird, or Whitebird, I guess. He's white as the pure driven virgin snow.
I hate being poor. There's so many cool figures coming out, and none of them are going to be in that collection.
I'm excited. Not plugging them or anything, but TFC doing Gestalts is, I believe, the best thing since sliced bread. This is amazing what they're doing. No two combiners are alike. It's fantastic how they're changing it up.
How so?
Well, you had Hercules, and Hercules is going to be 6 robots. They're all Voyager size. They're completely fun to play with. They got interchangeable weapons that turn into one giant combining gun, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. And then you got Uranos, which is actually 5 robots, but the middle centerpiece, the white SR-71 Blackbird, mm-hmm. is incredibly huge. Like, it's almost leader size, and it comes with its own robot to form the chest shield. So they're doing different things. They're trying out new ways of making these combiners, and I love it. I can't wait to see what they do next. I seriously want them to do Computron. Or Monstructor.
I'd like to see that one.
I want to see them do Pretender Shells. I really want them to do Pretender Shells.
If they're going to do Pretender Shells, they better put the price back a bit.
Well, you never know. Third party can get out of hand quite a bit. But I have all the love in the world for TFC now, for what they do. I know it's going to be awesome if they ever, wink, wink, do Pretender Shells.
Maybe they could actually do Pretender Grimlock some justice. Because that actually was like one of the worst ones that I've seen.
Was it?
It really was. Rather than looking like a T-Rex, it almost looked like a gator on his hind legs.
Sounds fun to me.
Sounds fun, but the thing can really get out of hand and be a pain in the ass. Do you buy knockoffs, perchance?
I do.
So do you have one that you like?
I really like. I collected them all at this point. It's all the knockoff G1 combiners that have mismatched parts, like on Metasaur, who's actually part Contitron. That one's really cool. I have a really rare G1 knockoff of Defensor, who isn't the usual like 6-inch size, but he's actually like almost a foot tall, and he actually comes with the basket attachment for hotspot. So that's a really cool one. That one is like the pride of my KO collection. There was a knockoff Leo Kaiser that I actually found in Japantown in San Francisco. And I put up a video about it, and people were like, Jesus Christ, that's real? You know, because apparently it was something that wasn't that easy to come by. And I gave a few of them away, and I didn't know what I was doing because apparently I could have gotten mucho money for them if I just put them on eBay.
Yeah, there was, for the one I did with, I think it was Rage, yeah, the one with the Rage, I'm pretty sure. I gotta check real quick. Yeah, the knockoff that's on there, apparently there was one sold on eBay for over $100.
Yeah, see? And I paid 10.
Dang.
Yeah. Like, no, and I'm not even kidding. It was like $10 total for all three.
Oh, jeez.
So, sucker, that's me.
Is there anything that you've pre-ordered recently?
Yeah, I've pre-ordered a fucking ton all, dude. I guess it has to do with one of my extra hobbies, like besides Transformers. I also really love coin collecting. So even though I don't have the masterpieces that go with them, I've ordered a lot of the masterpiece collector's coins. So like, I want these coins. It's mostly because they are really cool looking, number one, and B, the way they present them is incredibly cool. They have one for Defensor. Defensor? Who the hell am I talking about? Red Alert, the new Red Alert masterpiece that comes out. Yeah. It's like the Matrix. It's on two sliding panels. You open it up and it reveals the coin. The one I got for Lambor, I'm trying to think of his name. Why am I so bad with names right now? Sideswipe, masterpiece Sideswipe.
Yeah.
They put his coin on a wheel that spins. And, you know, it's just a fun little thing to watch it spin. But there's been other ones that I've gotten too. The re-release of G1 6-Shot that they did for the Encore series, which was the one that came with chromed weapons, he actually has a coin that isn't round, but it's actually designed to look like the barrel of a 6-shooter, like the chamber. So it almost looks like a gear. And the cool thing is they put it in this like faux leather wallet. It's on cardboard, but it looks like fake leather. So you open it up and it looks like a badge. Damn cool. So damn cool.
That's actually pretty awesome. Now, is it just like coins like that, or do you actually also collect coins like you collect $1 bill coins, or you know?
Yeah. No, I go crazy for awkward and rare change. Like during the Chinese New Year, where I work, for some reason I cannot fathom, there were a lot of $2 bills floating around. So $2 bills.
Wow.
So I was just like, I have to own these. And it didn't matter how low my bank account got. I would always like ask for cash back and get $2 back. And so like, give me that fucking $2 bill you got in your drawer. I know you have it. So, you know, Chinese New Year went on for a week, 2 weeks, something like that. And I think I walked away with like $16 in that deal.
So you got like 8 $2 coin or $2 bills.
Yeah. Random change from other countries. I love finding that.
Would you be interested? I think they're called barber coins.
Barber coins?
Yeah, let me look it up to make sure I have my information correct. Yes. The barber coinage. It consisted of the dime, the quarter, $50, right?
Interesting.
And it was one of the chief engraver, Charles E. Barber. They were minted between 1892 and 1916, though no half dollars were struck in the final year of the series. And they're really rare to come by because I have, I think, $1 or the dime and one or two of the quarters. And because of how old they are and how much they actually get used, because for some reason people, after having them for so long, it's hard to actually see them because they've basically worn down so much.
Yeah.
They've come to the point to where they can't tell what they are, yet they still get used. And the reason why they're so rare is because the composition is 90% silver and 10% copper.
Lucky you, dude. I had, I think at one time, I want to say I own the coin, but I had a 1922 penny. Just a regular U.S. 1922 penny. The thing that made it rare was that it wasn't made of copper, I believe. I think it was made of bronze, like an actual bronze penny. And it went for $10,000 at the time I looked at it. And I do believe I spent the penny.
You spent $10,000.
I spent a $10,000 coin on buying like $2 worth of gum or something like that. I swear to God I had that coin at one time. I know I had it at one time.
Xavier.
I didn't know what it was worth, damn it. I was just like, oh, 1922, that's pretty old. Hey, can I get like a pack of Marlboros? So I am kind of a coin collector nut because, like, you know, it's interesting. Like, I find stuff like this, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's worth anything now.
And then you find out after you spent it, and then
I find out afterwards, yeah.
I'm like, fuck. So that would have been another good question that I was about to ask, which would have been, like, things you do besides your main hobby. So is there anything else that you do?
Coin collecting, I write a lot. Like, I do a lot of note-taking. I have ideas in me for books. And a lot of the time what ends up happening to me is I'm at that point where I'm so, like, hypercritical of what I see in movies and TV shows. I'm like, well, what if this happened instead of that? Why is that? There's a continuity flub there. Why'd you show that? Why is that character bleeding? No one punched him. Stuff like that, right? So what I do is, like, as someone who's been a fan of writing ever since I was 17, I take a lot of notes. And just recently I filled out an entire page so far of a fantasy novel that I want to write someday. Because I've had just ideas after one another come to me after, excuse me, after seeing things like the new God of War game. Like, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool setting. I wonder what would happen here. Watching Game of Thrones, I love Game of Thrones. Like, I want to see more of something like this happen. And just basically, like, I've had ideas forever because I'm also a huge comic book fan. So at the same time, I'm like, well, characters from a comic book setting would work really well in a fantasy type like this. So I'm going to take these characters I made up long ago for, like, an X-Men story. I'm going to stick them in this fantasy setting and see how they do. And, you know, I'm having a good time so far with it because I've written just one page, but I think I got 10 more in me before I'm, like, going to burn out for the moment. And at the same time, I'm also writing scripts, like stuff I want to see performed. When I'm not doing my reviews, I'm writing those down. I'm taking different approaches to, like, video gaming. I want to see if I can write scripts for video games someday. I just have all these things I want to see happen from a writing standpoint because that's something I'd love to do forever now.
This is an odd question, but, like, for ideas for your stories, if you have characters in them, have you ever had those characters brought to life, as in actually drawn?
I'm not too deft at drawing. Like, that's actually one of the things I'm not that great at.
I'm going to send you something real quick. This is something I have drawn, and it would be one of my characters that I draw and think about on a great occasion because of the story. based him off of, and by God, he had to explain his story. It's like on what created him. I don't know what exactly brought it on, but the idea is like think of someone who was like I never had done these things, but like that's the best explanation of what I could think of, right?
Yeah.
So imagine someone who had smoked pots for quite a good amount of time, had some sort of traumatizing event, and then try to put that on paper in the most insane way possible by adding things that don't make sense and putting them together.
I have ideas like that all the time. Like, one of my favorite authors of all time is this dude named Grant Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know who he is, the dude is fucking, like...
Genius?
He's definitely a genius, but he's way, way, way out
there.
Like,
yeah.
Like, some of his creations, he did a comic book series for DC called The Invisibles. Mm-hmm. It's incredibly abstract. Like, he has random ideas all the time that no one can understand until he, like, says, by the way, you've been looking at this idea from the left the whole time. I want you to take 2 steps back and look at that mirror behind you. What do you see now? And it's like, oh, my God, that idea you were showing me the whole time turned out to be a woman given physical form. So it's... It's really trippy how he writes. I'm actually a huge fan of how he writes because the thing that really surprises people is how well he also writes characters. Like, first and foremost, he comes up with the most insane ideas. And a good example is, like, when he was writing New X-Men from 2000 to 2004, he did the whole spin where he said it's the thing where Logan got his metal claws. Everyone's been calling it the Weapon X program. And he said, you guys are idiots. The whole time you didn't understand that X was actually a Roman numeral. This is the Weapon 10 project. He's actually the 10th weapon. There have been 9 others. And then the second that hit, like, the comic book world, people were like, holy shit, no one ever thought of that, right? Mm-hmm. So ideas like that where it's just like take an old idea, put a new spin on it. Charles Xavier actually had an evil twin sister named Cassandra Nova. He does soap opera stories like that. People love it. I love it. I want to write like that, so I do. And I forget where this is going. Where the fuck was I going with this, John?
Because of how insane my character is.
Oh yeah. I was somehow going to relate this to an idea that I had one time, just out of the blue, where it was like, what if Satan, like the actual devil himself, just got tired of being the master of evil one day and called it quits and just wanted to be a good guy?
Okay, so I'm going to toss this idea to you, all right? So, demigods. You have gods, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
None of them?
Nope. They're just rather a really high rank within God's like arsenal for whatever, for fighting like the corruption, right?
So they're weapons?
No, not weapons. Just really high, almost like. Some of them are like generals, and some of them are just like really high-end soldiers that just beat the shit out of whatever comes their way.
So demigods are a rank.
Yes. So like a rank in out of like the angels and stuff.
So it's like when I play Soul Calibur and I go from the champion of Vermilion to the demigod of Vermilion. I'm actually ranking up.
Yeah.
I follow you.
Okay. So,
but being a fan of God of War, I believe in the demigod theory.
Okay, fair enough. Now imagine the character I just sent you. He's one of them.
He's a guy that is a ranked demigod, as it were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, his life has been a complete and utter shit. Dad beat, like, his dad, he's the reason why he has the eye patch.
Keep going.
So his dad literally yanked his eye out of his like skull at the age of 5, right? Mm-hmm. Beat the living shit out of him, and finally he was like, "Fuck it, what do I have to lose? I'm going to actually try to take on my fear, try to beat the living shit out of him, get my life back on track, and try to actually do my job for once."
Yeah.
So his main job is not only are they a rank, but, one of the things is they're supposed to watch over people, right? But you have many types of people on this earth.
Right.
So what if he had to watch over the mythical realm?
Okay, I'm following you.
So the only reason why he was given that job is he's a part of it, right? In a way. Because not only is he a demigod, he's, give me a sec. I gotta look up something real quick.
Mm-hmm. Porn.
Bullshit. He's kind of like Edward, but he doesn't sparkle. And he's only part of Edward. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's part human.
Yeah.
So, in that case, he, he has to watch over so-said people, and he has to understand that there's going to be differences between the people and the mythical realm, and he has to try to make things meet and not get out of hand like things have. Like
fascinating. So he's kind of like a what do you call it? A guardian, like a referee.
A guardian, a referee, yeah, that type of thing.
Okay.
And so the whole story is behind his friends, how he tries to protect them, and fighting off all the corruption, and trying to make sure that his friends don't do things that would get him in trouble. Let's face it, some of his friends are complete and utter morons, and from the way that they behave on a day-to-day basis, that could possibly leave people dead. He just walks in, oh my fucking God, you killed that poor bastard. Why? I was hungry? There are other ways around it, you dumbass. Why?
You order in and out. You skin a cat and you sacrifice it to the god of hunger.
There are woodland creatures around. I'm pretty sure you can hunt one rather easily and then eat that. You had to go straight for the guy. That's totally you. Well, dude, don't be freaking out. I'm going to freak out. You killed that guy. He was like, kind of like me. He was like the representative of the humans, and now he's dead. We're fucked. We're so fucked. Oh God. Oh God. He gets a call in. Hey, I thought we kind of had this discussion. You weren't supposed to say my name in vain. Damn it.
My ideas are always about escalation, like taking it from the simplest of things and blowing it out of proportion. Like, I have an idea where someone is immortal. They can't die. They will never age like we do. So basically, set them in a wartime scenario. And, they're basically being used for slave labor or what have you. And this person just doesn't want any part of it. So they just start beating up people, and eventually they end up having to kill someone to get them out of their face, right? Mm-hmm. And this escalates. So it's like, you just killed this soldier, guards, arrest their killer. They can't do it because it's immortal, so the guards end up being killed, and it's just like, someone call in the reserve army. The reserve army gets killed, and then it becomes this problem. It's like, okay, no matter what we seem to be throwing at this lady, she's not dying. So it escalates to like, drop a bomb. The bomb doesn't work. Let's get 500 men to spear her and just pin her to the ground. That doesn't work because she's breaking all the spears with her colossal strength. And basically, I'm just like thinking, it just keeps escalating and escalating. It's like, oh my God, we got a real problem here. We're trying to fight a war. This lady seems really pissed off at us. She can't die. She can't be held down. And she's decimating entire armies. I think she's going to take over the world at some point.
I would like to read that. Is there a place that you have been thinking on possibly posting all this, or?
I have to write it, but I was just like, I like the idea of someone, it just keeps escalating and escalating and escalating, where it's just like, no matter what you throw at her, she can't be stopped. And the thing that's like really emasculating is like, it's a woman doing this to a fucking army of men with all their weapons and trained highly professional warriors, and she is just like ripping them to shreds one after another.
I'm going to send you a link to a place where you could possibly post this where people might read it.
Okay.
I write there, and some of my stuff is like a fanfic, and it's going to happen because I'm young, I'm fans of certain things, and that's going to happen. But as I'm aging, I'm realizing that I have to create, material based off of my own stuff and not add stuff to it from characters that are known. But sometimes you have to come up with the idea, what if this happened? What if these characters met? And what if these characters interacted with one another?
Yeah.
And that kind of happened because, again, with my character being, for the mythical realm, several mythical creatures that he interacts with happen to lead into the whole story, which is now being redone because a lot of stuff needs fixed.
So this is the original work you came up with?
No, this part, like what's I have written now on my thing is actually a fanfic, but I'm kind of rewriting it. Like making it less about the characters that are known in it and more about my character, So, I mean, it still references some of the people, and he still interacts, but not solely on them. If that makes any sense to you.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, like, as someone who also highly experiments with all types of writing, I totally get what you're saying.
Pretty cool. Let's see. Do you have a favorite show?
Right now it's Game of Thrones, and that's about it, because it's the only thing that's going to be on for a while. I don't watch a whole lot of TV anymore. I used to be a huge TV junkie, but a lot of the stuff I catch up on now is, basically what I watch online. So it's like I do the podcast. I'm part of two podcasts, actually. I do Good Morning Cybertron with Scott and Peter and Josh. And then I also do a second podcast called Hello Govna with a dude we met through Good Morning Cybertron called Abdullah Cutbetten from Kuwait. So I do those two podcasts. And then in the meantime, I'm just watching a whole bunch of movies and DVDs on Blu-ray and so on and so forth. It's very rare that I'll catch something on TV nowadays. Like when I wake up, I'll watch Cartoon Network or Comedy Central. But beyond that, there's not really a whole lot I get excited about anymore.
I'm just doing a shout out for my friend here because she just gave birth this morning to a wonderful son, which
Congrats to her.
She's an amazing person. She was like one of the seniors that I looked up to last year for culinary, and her and one of my friends that was also a senior from culinary last year are getting married, and they just had a wonderful son.
Very cool. Congrats to her.
Real cool. Do you have a worst fear?
Losing my collection or my hair.
It's just hair.
I know, but it's so pretty.
If we were totally evolved, we wouldn't have it.
Worst fear is probably I don't know. I've had a lot of my shit like get bashed. Like whenever I think my worst fear is that my writing, which I really hope will carry me someday, just crashes and burns. Because I do love to write. I've invested so many years into doing it, and I'm getting close to actually getting stuff, finished, or not finished, but well on its way to being a full-fledged realized book. And there are ways around it to not get turned down. You could always go on Bookwire on Amazon Book Surge. You can get yourself self-published that way. Technically, anything you publish on the internet where people can read it, even fan fiction, is considered publishing. but I really want to get a book someday physically published. That's what I really want to look forward to.
Right.
And, you know, the worst fear is that it's never going to happen. I'm always going to be stuck in the same job for, like, the next 30 years, just waiting for, like, to earn partnership on YouTube so I can make some money off my videos.
Let's see. Trying to find something else. Is there anything else you might want to talk about?
I like naked women. Do you?
Absolutely.
Done.
What?
I also love my girlfriend. She would very much like a shout out. Hi Jen. I love you, sweetheart.
So, are you happy? Are you?
Oh, we're mad for each other. Like, she jumps on me the first chance he gets online, like, hey, how you doing? Love you, kisses. And I'm like, oh, baby, not in front of the other Transformers collectors.
That's wonderful. I'm just happy. It's been so long since I've actually re-edited something on here. I'm having a hard time editing it. Oh, that's because when they updated the site, they put it under something new.
Oh?
Yeah. Like, it used to be down at the bottom of the screen, and all you had to do were... all you had to do was... like,
Are you
go down.
Are you editing this podcast as we speak, like an old Warner Brothers cartoon?
No, I'm editing.
Like literally, they would draw the cartoon, send it to ink and paint, film it, take the picture, and then as it's being printed on celluloid, start chopping pieces together for a reel.
No, I was editing that story, kind of renaming it a bit.
You heard it here first, folks. John, interest in fan fiction takes priority over me.
I'm not taking priority. I'm just trying to make sure.
I'm done. Wait, come back. I'm sorry. Baby, don't be mad.
But you're still here.
Oh, thank God.
I'm not a jerk. Unlike some people, kind of remember that back on the one GMC.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Please clarify.
I was like, you guys are too nice to do that to me. And then you fucking, like, hanged the call up on me. And then I was gone for, like, 10 minutes. And then finally, you, like, just called me back, and it was like, so, we that nice to you? Dick.
Well, you know, like I said, racism and just being jerks in general, part of the show.
Although I can't blame you. It is still funny.
Memories of the time we hung up on you.
I shall make that a song.
Memories. Yeah, if anyone out there can edit my horrible voice into a song, please do.
If you give me enough time, I probably could. Oh, one of the cool things about being in choir again for senior year is we did so good for the district contest, we get to go to state.
Cool.
But I'm a little like nervous because we have to learn a brand new song and kind of change it around a bit.
So, my horrible singing then?
No, it's the one song wasn't to a good standards.
He's still editing his fanfic.
No, this time I'm adding the stuff to Google Plus, which is a little stupid. Although I was kind of surprised with how many fans I actually have on this already.
How many?
2.
Nice.
You know, at least people are reading it.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't know that people would actually take the time to read it.
Did they comment too?
No, they just read, apparently, because I looked at the, what is it, the statistics.
I'm wary of using the term fan. I'd like to say subbers. But, you know, the term fan just slips out of your mouth so much.
I mean, hey, even though I'm a subscriber, I would consider myself a fan to a lot of the people that I'm subscribed to. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Are you looking for a spot on GMC?
Oh, Scott said if I ever wanted to get on, all I had to do is like tell them when, and they'd find a spot.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go.
And that's, I don't know why, but it's nice to know that, you know, they're giving me that option.
Yes, they have. We give that option to anyone. We're really just so basically desperate for any kind of talent. Because we are like a vacuum, a black hole, just sucking up everyone's hopes and dreams. We need fresh food.
Question, my good sir. What type of talent do I have?
Oh, suddenly this is about John.
You said that people, you desperately try to get people on with talent, and that's why I kind of wondered, because you had me on like 2 or 3 times now.
Didn't you hear it when I just now? Rewind the tape. You know, I said everyone with talent except John. Didn't you hear that?
No, I didn't.
We'll play it back.
Too bad I don't have my second person here. That is the second bit of opinion.
He could have helped. No, you got talent, sir. I mean, I've seen you draw stuff yourself. You know, you're putting material out there as well. So you're producing videos. So right there, you're an artist and a producer. And you're also a singer. So you're what the industry would call a triple threat. That satisfy your ego, John?
It's not really about my ego. I was just wondering what type of talents do I even really have. Yes, I draw, but it's only because I have fun doing it. Singing, yeah, but that's due to the fact that I always had fun doing it with my friends.
I thought that statement was going to end singing. I got the voice of a fucking angel.
No.
I would have loved to have heard that.
I'm just surprised that they actually put up with my singing.
Oh, pish posh.
It can't be that good.
I remember doing choir for grade school, and it was mandatory. Nothing like mandatory singing when you're 6.
Yeah, they still have that, pretty much. Like, I've seen a lot of my cousins sing, like, oh, well, no, why do I have to do this? It's technically an art, but shouldn't be, you know.
Right. Shouldn't be required of you to pass, like, the 5th grade.
Or let alone any of the younger grades, like 2nd grade. Oh, poor Timmy, he's tripping over his dick as it is, let alone trying to sing.
That poor kid only has one path in life if you can't cut it as a singer.
Tripping over his dick?
He's going to be rocking beds. Like Fred Flintstone, because he makes that bed rock.
Seriously, what would you do if you tripped over your own dick? Like, how would you start? Would you grab your crotch from the pain of tripping over your dick, or would you...
I would be first mostly impressed that the growth spurt happened overnight to a man who's 30. And I'd be like, whoa, someone up there likes me. Just walk outside with no pants for the rest of the day.
Boss, I think I deserve a raise.
Don't want to give it to me? How about I choke you to death with something right here?
I'm oddly disturbed, yet I can't look away.
Right? Go on, gaze at its majesty.
So how about that raise?
Over in the GMC territory, we call this the Chip Chase Special. Or all hail the healing light of Lunghole. Hey, how you doing, Scott? Sixth Dimension, going for a record.
Wasn't the Sixth Dimension where that one weirdo came out of from Buckaroo Banzai?
Possibly.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Buckaroo Banzai?
Yeah.
Never.
Oh my gosh, you are missing out.
How old is Buckaroo Banzai?
Let me check real quick. It's up there. I mean, it's the only reason why I know about it is because my dad. No, it's the Eighth Dimension, but and it was from 1984.
Oh! I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, it took a while.
Yeah, and I don't know if you knew this, but one of the famous people in you know Christopher Lloyd?
Yeah.
He was John Big Boutte.
Kind of like, that's kind of akin to, what's his name? Sean Connery being Zardoz with the red leotard bikini. Leo Keeney.
No, I don't need to see that.
Hey, that fucker had a pencil mustache and pecs that could melt hearts.
Anyway, another famous person. I don't remember who it is, but he was famous for being Mr. Krabs. He was also in this movie.
Oh, the voice of Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob?
Yeah.
I never made that connection.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's...
a little bit of theater knowledge to everyone out there.
Yeah. That's pretty much about it, what I can really think of for the podcast. Is there anything else that you may want to add?
You tripping over your dick, boy?
Nope.
No? I got nothing then.
No. Well, it's been a pleasure.
It has been. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it's been a lot of fun. So I want to thank you, and this is Grimlock 88 signing out for the fourth episode of Teatime with Grimlock. Take care.